Hello, and in this video I'm going to show how to manage your subscriptions and notice periods in your own Notion template or workspace. So I created this template or page which you can copy. I will link it down in the comments below, and then you can use it to have a good overview about your subscriptions and when to cancel them. The benefit is just that you don't forget to cancel any subscriptions. And what I'm gonna show you in this video is what my thoughts were, how to use it, what a property means, and also at the end, how to create your formulas in Notion. So as you can see, we have two views here. We have active and all subscriptions. In all, for example, here's Google Workspace, but I bought it like last year. It was active until January 27. We already have currently March 11, so it's not active anymore. So it doesn't show here. But for example, Personio, as you can see, this field means cancelled. Personio, I already cancelled the subscription, which means the subscription is cancelled, but it's still active until next year, so it's still under the active tab. This means everything here, as you can see, those are my active subscriptions, and the cancelled ones are just like below, and the active ones who are not cancelled are sorted up there. I think the best way to show you how this whole template works is to create a new subscription. We can do it here up below, and then we will add the Spotify subscription because I also use Spotify. We add the custom icon here. You can just like use any PNG, SVG icon, any file. And then I will quickly show you what those properties mean. So cancelled, we already discussed it. You can either say it's cancelled or not. Last renewal, let's say we bought Spotify the subscription today. It's a monthly subscription and the notice period on Spotify is 0. For example, Personio, as you can see, has a notice period of 90 days, 3 months, but Spotify you can cancel it anytime, and you can also cancel it on the day before the subscription renewal is, and it still be cancelled. So you have to cancel it on April 10, and it's also active until April 10, otherwise on April 11 it will be renewed. So this is just like how this works. Those are two formulas. You don't have to edit them, but you can also edit the last field, which is the price. The price also sums up to the yearly cost in this formula, which means it just checks, okay, is the subscription weekly, monthly, or yearly, and then sums this price. In this case, the monthly price is $4.99 up to the yearly price. For example, if you do like the yearly price and we paid like 99 euros for Spotify, then the yearly costs are also 99 euros. I think that makes sense. So in this case, it's $4.99. Okay, and now how to really use it, and also for your personal or business subscriptions. Since I have Spotify since several years, but I don't really want to like update this date, because you have to update it anytime, because if you don't do anything here in this Notion template, it won't update this like last renewal automatically. So you have to say, okay, Spotify, the subscription renewed, so you have to go on April 10 or before and update it on here. And then it will be like renewed and active until May 10 and so on. And you have to do this then every month or so. But I have like two easy solutions for you if you don't want to like really update it manually every time. Like some people want it to, but I don't. So in this case, I like it to have just be cleared or empty. So in this case, the Spotify subscription, it's still active. As you can see, I didn't check the box here, but I just cleared the state field, which means the subscription is still in this active list, but it's sorted below or between the cancelled subscriptions and the active subscriptions with a last renewal or bought field. That means in the future, if I have like hundreds of subscriptions, I can check in this active field my active subscriptions, but it's sorted so that the deadline, like the subscriptions who have a deadline, are top, and then like the nearest deadline is on top, of course. So in this case, I have to think about, okay, do I want this Netflix subscription to renew? Otherwise, I have to cancel April 3rd or before. So this is everything that the template does. And now we come to the trickier part, which are the formulas. So we have those three formulas here, and I'm going to show you quickly here how it looks like. This is quite complicated, Not that complicated, it's quite easy to be honest, but it's just if we go to, for example, deadline to cancel, yeah, it's a little bit messed up because currently Notion just accepts like one-liner, so we have to copy and paste this code into a one-liner here, but instead of editing formulas here in Notion directly, I do this in VS Code, and now I'm going to show you how I do this in VS Code exactly. So now we are in VS Code. You can of course also use other text editors, for example Atom, Android Studio, whatever. So it's like my personal preference to use Visual Studio Code from Microsoft to edit my code and also program it. And I have those three formulas here, which I showed you before. So active until is just like the day until the subscription is active. So what this means, and also before we start here, as you can see, it's a little bit cleaner. So of course you can also do it here too, but it's not like a one-liner, but just like a little bit sorted and highlighted, of course, so it's easier to edit code in VS Code than in Notion. So active until means, for example, we have a subscription until April 5th, 2023, and the date add just returns this date, and date add is just a method from Notion. I will also link down in the comments below a good overview from Frank, who created it with all those Notion formulas, for example, date add, prop, subtract, and so on. So date add means you have to input three parameters. So the first one is a date. So I'll also write it here. The second one is a number. And the third one is either, for example, days, or you can also like days, minutes, years, and so on. You can use a lot of time, I don't know the English word, time things. In this case it's days, and the date we give it here is the property last renewal or bought, which means, for example, we bought the Spotify subscription today, but it's a weekly subscription, so the subscription property, if it is a weekly, not weekly but monthly, so property subscription is monthly, then it returns the number 30. Otherwise, it returns either 7 or 365. And if nothing is checked here, so if the subscription property is empty, then it returns 0. So please always think about to really set a subscription property in the Notion database. So in this case, it's like March 11. And here the number is, in this case, 30. And it's like days. So what date add exactly does is it adds to March 11 30 days and then returns the new date. So in this case it's April 11 or April 10. So now we go to the deadline to cancel, and here we use an if statement. So as you can see, if it is cancelled, if for example the subscription is cancelled, then we can clear the deadline to cancel this date. So we just get like from timestamp to number, then with an empty string, which means that it's just like an empty date, or like the property field remains empty. But if it's not cancelled, so it's active, then the deadline to cancel the contract is similar to here. So as you can see, I just copy and pasted here, with the difference that we don't want to have, like in this case, as you remember, 30. So it doesn't return like April 10, but if the, as you can see here, notice period in days, if this field is, for example, 7, it returns with the subtract method, it returns 30 minus 7, so 23 days, which means date add returns like the current date or the last renewal date plus 23. So it's just like, instead of canceling it on April 10, you have to cancel it already on April 3rd. So it's all that does. Yeah, and then the yearly costs are also quite interesting how I did this. It's just like if the subscription is yearly, then we just return the price field. You can like set the price there. As you saw on the template, if it's on monthly, we just like multiply it with 12. If it's weekly, we just multiply it by 52. Or if it's 0, we return -€1. But I will probably also edit this, because I think the most beautiful way is just to return an empty field here. So in this case, I will do it later, return empty field. So yeah, what's also important, if you just like try to copy and paste this here in Notion, it doesn't work. You have to remove the line breaks, and I use this website here to just like paste this here, and then we get like a one-liner which you can paste also in the Notion formula. So I will also link this whole code here for you too. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.